In Italy, the feast of St. Rita is hugely popular. In many churches, blessed roses of St. Rita are distributed, and the people love these signs, tangible signs of the protection of the saints. But this saint could have remained unknown. She had a desire from early life to give herself to the Lord, but it was frustrated, and she bore for some 20 years a marriage which, although ended up in the family, wasn't really serene. He wasn't a helpful husband. He could be quite violent. But his wife was his salvation. She did cling to him, obtained the grace for good death for this troubled soul. Her own soul was much troubled, losing her 2 sons quickly. But she realized that the hand of God was not absent from this, and she could then be free to follow that vocation which had always essentially been her own, at least at heart. And she found refuge in the monastery of St. Augustine in Cascia, Umbria, now a great place of pilgrimage. Her body is much venerated, but close to the body is another relic which is also venerated, linked with our own Siena. It was what happened when a priest was called to give Holy Communion to a person on his sickbed, but obviously was in a hurry and placed the sacred host not in the pyx as it should be placed, but in the pages of his breviary, and went off with his breviary and opened the breviary to give the Holy Communion to the sick person, but found he couldn't, for a miracle had taken place. And the page of the breviary was preserved. The stain of blood, the miracle made visible, is there, and a second miracle, they say, is on it. If one looks carefully, one sees in the stain the face of the Redeemer. We have another miracle in Siena also, which happened way back in 1730, when the hosts were taken from the tabernacle. The Palio, which is a big event in Siena, was called off, and the whole city went into fasting and prayer. And the Lord answered, and the hosts were retrieved. They had been placed in a money box in another church. They were not consumed. They were set apart, and they are as fresh now as they were in 1730. One or two here and there over the centuries have been consumed out of devotion, but massively the whole quantity is the same. And John Paul II went to venerate it and was moved. All he could say was, "C'è la presenza, c'è la presenza." The presence is there. The presence is there. And these are the hosts that we used to carry through the streets of our medieval city on the Thursday evening of Corpus Christi. The Archbishop would carry the miraculous hosts, and the clergy and people would follow. From one church, that of St. Francis, where they kept, to the cathedral itself, where there would be a sermon. And the Archbishop who ordained us said in one sermon one year, "Why did the Lord do this for us in Siena?" He was a good Archbishop, and in him Christ did things for us. He was pastoral. He cared for his people and for his priests. He was easy to obtain. He wasn't distanced. He would answer the phone easily himself. It is important. And then when he ordained me, remember a tear came to my eyes and I said thank you as I knelt before him, and he simply said, Plega per me, pray for me. His brother also was a bishop. So much depends on pastors of souls. We will never replace pastors of souls with programs of perfect bureaucracy. Nothing can replace the listening ear, the beating heart that loves the flock into being and sees, even in a miserable marriage, sanctity and hidden gems, those many wives that cling through thick and thin. Just before celebrating, I had a travelling couple in dire straits. He's not long out of prison, but she always came, gave him clothes and all that he needed, the only one who would cling to him when all the others had abandoned ship.